I'm Weerasuriya. I'm the CEO of Ready at Dawn Studios, and I'm the creative director of the Order 1886.
Okay, so what inspired the creation of the Order 1886?
What inspired this creation was history. History is like a mystery to me. Every time the more I read about it, the more I realize there's more hidden behind it. So, with that in mind, I had this need in so many ways to rewrite some of the reasons why things happen, because there was always so many stories for the same exact event. There's so many different stories that I decided, why not? Why not rewrite? Why not do something where the story, the history is the one you know, but the reasons behind it are completely different. And that spawned ideas of stories like way back in the past, and slowly, with the integration of the King Arthur and all that, it spawned this kind of thread that became the Order 1886.
What made you choose Nicola Tesla as the Order's quartermaster?
How could we not choose Nicola Tesla as the quartermaster? I mean, the man is the most brilliant, one of the most brilliant minds that has ever walked this planet. A lot of people, I think, give a lot of importance to people like Edison, because of his legacy today in America, around the world. But the reality of Tesla is that Tesla was, how would I call it? He did not have the monetary ambitions on it. That he worked for the betterment of everything that he did, the inventions that he did. So for us, when we look for somebody, especially because Tesla at the time was 30 years old in 1886, 29 I think, he was perfect. It was like, this kind of this automatic, like, how could we not use him in the game, because he makes stuff, he's changed the way the world is today, and his influence over our world as we live today is so vast that it was awesome to basically twist his story to our purposes.
During the development process, there seems to have been an obsessive amount of attention to detail in terms of materials and fabrics and their interaction with the game engine. Why was that so important to you?
Because we're moving forward as an industry. We are basically on a new platform. It is our duty in so many ways, especially being PS4 exclusive. It's really our duty to explore that and to do whatever we can to showcase those kind of things. So we set goals for every discipline, on the gameplay mechanics, on the design side, on the story, and on the visual side and everything. All those goals had to be met. That was kind of like at the beginning, it's like, I don't care what it's going to take, we have to get there. And all the directors basically, set those goals, and we pushed for them because we wanted to show people that games are getting that close to giving you a reality that you can believe. It's something that you don't have the detachment to. It's something that actually, I don't know if you know about the whole uncanny valley thing, like the fact that as we make artificial intelligence, at one point when it becomes too real, it starts disconnecting with people, and you get to the bottom of the valley. But what we're trying to show right now is that we have come to the other side of the valley, that we're getting closer and closer to things that people can believe, emotions that people can relate to. And to do that, you have to do something right, when it comes to materials, faces, skin shaders, hair, eyes, even the shader on the eye to make it look like a little bit viscous and all that. It matters, because if you see dead eyes in a person, you don't believe what they're saying. But if you have an eye that actually has a gleam that feels like actually it's real, suddenly that emotion, that same sentence that he might say, feels closer to you.
Would you care to elaborate on the balance between player agency and cinematic experience in the context of the game?
So the balance actually over there is basically why we built this game. We wanted to find a new way to kind of intertwine the experience of a game, not just like segment it so that it is this number of things that you do that completely have no relation because you feel like you're being forced into different things, or that you're a one-trick pony. You only do one thing and you just do it again and again. We decided that we had to find a balance so that the player never felt like detached from the game, that he never felt like basically he was basically being given like specific tasks that had nothing to do with one another. For that to work, actually, we had to actually, number one, make a game. It has to be interactive. There is no way to make something that is not interactive and call it a game. So our sole purpose as gamers, as game developers, was to make a great game. And the one thing that actually we did with all the other mechanics around it, and the visuals and the cinematic side, the story, they all serve the purpose of the game. So anybody who plays the game at this point, I think, will realize that although we've taken liberties with a lot of things, with even quick time events that I know people like have some aversion sometimes to, we actually gave player choice. A quick time event for us is not something we use all the time in game. As a matter of fact, we don't use it that often. But when we use it, we do it so that the player would do something in what otherwise in another game would be just something you watch. So we're not really taking anything away from the player. We're basically telling them, hey, look, this sequence in any other game, you would watch it happen. Because the gameplay mechanics would not allow you to, like, for example, close the gate against a Lycan, you and a Lycan closing the gate. You can't really do that with a regular navigation, and shooter. But what we did is say, like, no, we want you to experience what it feels like, closing that gate. So we actually added those quick time events. So again, they're very sparse, but the prime directive actually at the company and at the team was always gameplay first, gameplay experience first, and the player first. Always put the player first.
Okay, just as a final question, what was the biggest challenge you guys have faced while you were developing the Order 1886?
Wow. So there were a lot of challenges, technology, building an IP. There's a lot of big challenges that I can't minimize any of those. But I will tell you that probably the greatest challenge that you will ever find, at least I feel you will ever find in any team, is building a team or growing a team. People are what make games. People, ideas are great. It's awesome to have a great idea, but without good people, there's no way to basically achieve what you want to do. And finding these people was kind of a kind of a development on its own. We had to work so hard to get the right people because we wanted our culture to remain right. We wanted great people to basically add to this team and become part of our family. And that was the biggest challenge. It was basically being so specific and selective about those people. But we finished at 120 people with a lot of contractors as well, some contractors. But I'm proud to say that we have actually a pretty kick-ass core team now. People that actually we care about and we actually want to work together all the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.